Well, hello guys, welcome back. They asked if I'd be interested in doing, see if I can get it off, a video on enchanting jewelry, and I would be more than happy. I do it very simply, so if you're hoping for a 15-minute video, I'm probably going to disappoint you. But let's say, for example, you want to enchant this ring. There are really long, elaborate rituals you can do. You can do like a 30-step ritual if you're happy. But at this point in my practice, what I will do is I will take the ring and I will say, look at it and think, I wish I felt, and I'll think, what do I want to feel? Do I want to feel security? Do I want to feel calmness? Do I want to feel brave? What do I want to feel? And this is a mundane ring. This was not, this was not made for witches. This was not bought for like $800, out of a catalog. Wasn't made in India, anything spectacular like that. So I think of what I want, and I put my attention into the ring, and you can do it as simply as that, and then put it on, wash and wear. You can also like hold it in the palm of your hand, whatever hand is like your energy hand, if you believe in that. Mine's always my right hand, even though I'm left-handed. Go figure. And put your other hand over it and say, kind of push energy into it and say, this is what I intend. And you can call on Goddess, you can call on Loki, you can call on anyone, and you can do that. And that's good for a little recharge. But let's say you've been wearing it for a while and you're like, this ringy thing that I enchanted, it's not working. Well, then you can take a step up and you can put it on the appropriate altar. If you don't have an altar, you can always just put it down on a table or somewhere where it's not going to get a lot of attention. You can even like put it back in the box or drawer or wherever you keep it and say, I need you to imbue this to recharge it. It's out of energy. Will you please, be polite? Will you please charge my energy for this? No, I do it that way. What I actually do is I lay it on Loki's altar, and then I will come back and wear it. Some people won't. They feel that once you put something on an altar, it's forever theirs. My gods have never had a problem with me bringing the jewelry over and putting it on their altar to charge it. It's just the same if you were, like you see a lot of witches will enchant oils and sell those and that. It's kind of the same thing because a lot will put it on their altar to whomever, or they'll make a small altar since they're in the business to do that. And they'll, ask them to please, enchant and bless the oil. So you've done that, you've charged it for however long you think you need to charge it, a couple minutes, couple hours, couple days, whatever. And then, you wear it, and again, if you feel the power flagging, you can go back. And another thing you can do, and you don't have to do all of this, you can make oils, or you can use an essential oil. I'm going to give you very important caveat because I've done this. You can ruin some jewelry with oil. You can ruin some jewelry with perfume. I picked that up from a little bit from Santeria, a little bit from working with La Santa of using a perfume or cologne as like a religious item. You can ruin some jewelry by doing that. Please be aware. I've seen people, like bless it with like wax from the candle and everything else, and then, you have a hot mess and you find out the wax took stuff off. So please be aware. If you don't mind, that's okay, but do be aware. And that's really about it. You can go through a really big ritual, like if you wanted to do a ritual and dedicate a ring to, say, Lilith or Loki or whomever, like since it's a snake, I'm just like freebasing here. You could, set up your ritual however you set it up and have that on there and dedicate it specifically to that god or goddess. And you have to pick your moon phase or whatever you think's appropriate, and I can't tell you how to set up an altar because to me that's extremely personal. I hate giving people colors and that because it doesn't work for some people. For some people, if you tell them this god has red, they're like, oh god, no, I can't work with them, I can't work with that color. So it's okay to use your own colors, use what you feel drawn to. That's more important than going by book or a list of rules I could give you. And another thing I actually do, you can put them in sunlight, moonlight, any light. I mean, like if you like live in a room in a corner and like you can't really get to sunlight or moonlight because you're like in the city, or like today you're like trapped in the cold. Um, you can recharge them. I will sometimes wear my jewelry that can take it into a bath or shower, and as I'm cleansing myself, it will get cleansed because it will have all those yummy, luxurious soaps we use and everything else. And think of like all those herbs and everything going into that. You can also wash your jewelry. Again, be careful. Make sure you know what kind of jewelry you have with those kind of things. I mean, they already have the essential herbs and everything in them. So, you can do anything you want with any piece of jewelry. This was not made to be magical. This was not made to be, spiritual. You could buy it at the dollar store, you could buy it at Hot Topic, and you can use absolutely any kind of jewelry. If you have a ring out of like, we used to call them quarter machines, the machines you put a couple coins in, you turn it, and if you have one of those and you love it and it reminds you of something, you're already doing, a lot of us already do magic without thinking of it. You look at it and you get a certain sense and a certain feeling, and like it maybe makes you nostalgic, it reminds you of peace and happiness or whatever, then that's, you've already gotten your charged ring. And sometimes you'll look at a piece of jewelry in a store, like a thrift store or something, and trust your intuition. You will think that ring really makes me feel calm, hyper, anxious, romantic, whatever. If I were that, I would feel really, don't push that aside. Don't dismiss it. We all have intuitive powers. It's like nothing exclusive to witches or, wizards or whatever you call yourself. We all have them. It's a gift from the gods. It's a natural gift. And you can use anything. If you don't like snakes, if you don't like looking, outwardly like a pagan, you could use any design you want. Heart, whatever. The sky's the limit. A plain band, anything. So, I hope that helps. I knew it would be a shorter video because I tend to be simple. Had I done this video, like 20, 30 years ago, it would have been a huge elaborate ritual with like 12 candles and me waving the ring through everything and like putting through the fire and the smoke and everything. And you certainly do that. But I'm to the point now where I'm like, big rituals aren't my things. I will charge it with like, say, crystals or herbs, or, just charge it on the altar, or just like a simple, put it in your hand, put the other hand over, and, put your intent into it. And that's pretty much enough. It doesn't have to be overcomplicated. Some people believe once and done. So once you charge it, it's done forever. Some people believe a charge runs out. I believe it's entirely up to you. I've charged things and felt them like it never wore off, and I've charged things and it's like it just didn't take. It just didn't take. There are some paths that believe that any tool you use, and that includes rings, jewelry, paints, like paint on my nails, which all chipped off. Anything you use is kind of more of a partner, not just a mundane thing. It doesn't sit there and think about taxes and rural poverty or something, but it kind of has a indwelling spirit of its own, and it kind of has its own agenda in this world. And if you treat it with respect, it will treat you with respect, and it will be your friend, kind of get along with you. But sometimes it has its own mind, and you think, I want you to be a healing ring, and it's like, oh no, we're not playing that game. This is what I want to be. And it's kind of like if you read tarot, like some tarot decks have loved me, and some tarot decks have been like, you get away from me. And I have the one I call Big Mama that I read from all the time for myself. And she loves me. She adores me. But I had a dragon tarot I had to get rid of because that deck hated me. And it's the same thing with jewelry. You might see a piece of jewelry and try to put it on, and for some reason that jewelry just straight up doesn't like you. And it sounds crazy when you say it all out. It does sound insane. But when you've experienced it, you know what I mean. Some of it will feel like it's apathetic towards you because it'll never hold a charge. Some of it like feels like it adores you because it's always there for you and always ready to like do a new thing. And some of it just feels like it's downright hostile to you. That ring hates you, and or whatever you're charging, it absolutely can't understand you. So, you know, it's up to you, and it's up to your real views. Not everybody believes everything has an indwelling spirit. Some people think that's like nonsense and superstitious, and you got that out of a bad book. But to each their own. So I hope that helps, guys. I know it was a shorter video, but I kind of like keeping it simple because I feel the more complicated you get, the more chances there are for something to go wrong. And if you want me to explain anything more in depth, just tell me and I'll answer you in the comments below. And if you like what you see, like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you lovely people later. Bye-bye.